Mathematics, Advanced Subsidiary Level, Paper 1, 2023, Part 3. Question number 4. Find the first three terms in the expansion 3 plus ax to the power of 4 in ascending powers of x. What is this chapter? Now, in the mathematics textbook, y equals mx plus c, it will be chapter 2. And it's the binomial theorem. It's with sequences in that chapter. Now, the most important, but you can also look at the formula sheet, but on page 84, and I'm going to use that, is this, and I'm just going to, it's the longer version you will see at the end of this question paper. So T R plus N, and then it's going to be is equal to N over R, and it's A N minus R, and it's B to the power of R. Okay, so basically, I'm going to start, and a nice example, which you can, is on page 86 in the y equals mx plus c mathematics textbook, example 44. Okay, so let's start. It's 4, that's the value of R. So in this case, I'm going to say the first three terms, 4, 0. I start with 0. And then I take that first, so 3, did you see? I'm taking the first, and then n, so it's the 4 minus 0. So it's 4 minus 0. And then I'm taking the second term in the brackets, and then it's only to R. That is R. Did you see in this case? This is n, okay, and this is R. So in this case, I'm going to take it to 0. So it's 4 minus 0, and then for the second one, just 0. That's the first term. The second one will be 4, 1, and again take your 3, and it's 4 minus 1, so it's 4 minus 1, and then ax, and it's only to that R1. Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to write the next one here. So it's 4, 2, don't make a stripe, it's not a fraction. Then it's 3, 4 minus 2, and then ax2. Okay, and now I'm going to just start and say equals, and I'm going to work it out. Now, on your calculator, you will find a key, and the key is, I'm just looking for it on this calculator, NCR. Okay, I just want to show you how to press it on the calculator. So on the calculator, I'm looking for the key. I'm looking on my older calculator now, NCR. The key is on mine is NCR. So just find that key. So if you want to press this one, you press 4 NCR 0. And what will it give you? It will give you 1. Okay? So that will become 1. And then it's 3 to the power of 4. And then anything to the power of 0 will always be 1 plus. Okay. Then go 4 on your calculator, NCR, and go 1. And what will you get? 4. And then it will be 3 to the power of 3. And then it's ax1. And then the final one here is 4 NCR 2. And what will that be? That will be 6. And then it's 3 to the power of 2. And ax2. Try not to write in their space. Okay. And then I'm simplifying this. So 3 to the power of 4, what will that be? 81. That's the first term. Now 3 to the power of 3 is 27 times 4. So it's 108 ax. And then 9, 3 to the power 2, it's 9 times 6, and it's 54 a to the power of 2. Multiply the 2 in x to the power of 2. Okay, and that is the first three terms. Now, so find the first three terms. I think we can quickly go to the examination report. Let's just quickly find it. Okay. So just because I like to finish it before we go to the next question. Okay, let's see quickly. This is 4.8. Moderately answered. Emphasis must be given on the application of the binomial theorem. Quite a number of candidates could not get the free term. Some gave the third term as 54. They forgot to multiply 2 in with both brackets instead of this. So it was the 81 plus 10ax plus 54a squared x squared. Okay, and it seems to me they gave for, and terms must be in any order or personal list. So they gave 2 marks, which is just 2 marks. So if you 2, then they gave you 2 marks, order of presenting list. Okay, it seems to me a bit unclear for what they gave the marks there. Okay, doesn't matter. If you have all 3 correct, you will get 2 marks. Let's go back to the question paper and do number B. Now, what I like about number B is always see if A can help you. And in this case, it's going to help you. Otherwise, you're going to do a long sum again. So the coefficient of x squared in the expansion, but now, did you notice that that was the same? Is 108. Find the possible values of the constant 8. So basically, you already have the first 3 terms because, and I must tell you that excellent example that you must look in the y equals mx+c mathematics textbooks. And its example 47 will help you. Plus, then on page 93, example 51. That's also going to help you. Okay, so basically, if I start, I'm writing the first bracket out. What is the first bracket? 1 plus 4x. Now, I don't need, because it's only up to x squared. So I must only need all the terms up to x squared. That's why they let you work out the first 3 in the first question. So you can only write the first 3 terms. Always see that link. They are really trying to help you. Otherwise, they could have just wrote it in one question, and that would have been a bit more challenging then. Okay, so now I must think, if I multiply, what will give me x squared? So if I multiply 1 with that, I will get an x squared. If I multiply with the first term, no. But if I multiply this one with this, I will get an x squared. And I only look for the terms with an x squared. So I start and multiply. So the first red, I get 54a squared x squared. Plus, if I say 4 times 108, I get 432a x squared. Okay, now I can take x squared out as the common factor. Okay, so what do I get? 54a squared plus 432a. That I will get. Okay, and now, what will I do now? They say that this x term is equal to 1080. So I can go and say, okay, so 54a squared plus 432a equals 1080. And now it's a quadratic equation. I take everything to one side. Always quadratic. If it's not an identity or so, then I take everything to one side. And I put it equal to 0. And now I'm going to try to factorize, or I'm going to try to use the formula. Now, I also in the beginning didn't see that 54 can divide. But then you can just say, I divide by 2, I divide by 2, I divide by 2. I divide by 3, 3, 3. But now, because I know and I worked it out, I know that 54 can divide in all of them. But you can do it in steps. First divide by 2, then divide by 3, then again divide by 3, and so on. Until you get, and then I think I discovered it divide by 9, and then I got that. So I think I first did 2, and then I did 3, and then I saw it was 9. But at the end, it could have divided by 54. So it's a squared just simplify it, because then you will see if it's able to factorize. And now I look at it, oh, excellent, it can factorize. So I can say it can be 10 times 2, 1, 1, because it's group B. 10 minus 2 will give me that 8. The biggest over cross product will get a positive, and this one will get a negative. So then this is my bracket, this is A, this is A. So then I will get A plus 10, A minus 2, and that's equal to 0. And if I simplify it, I will get A is negative 10, or I will get the value of A is 2. And that's my final answers. Let's go see where we get marks. It seems to me, I checked already, it seems to me if you got these two terms, at least you would have get that mark. And then if you got equated there and then coming to that final answer. Okay, let's go and see the examination report. Okay, let's see if it was still 4A. No, it was the next one. It was B, and moderately answered. Some candidates could not form a quadratic equation in terms of A. A few who found their third term as 54ax squared ended up with a linear equation instead of a quadratic. Okay, that's sad. Okay, so basically just using the answer of A, getting that, putting it equal to 108, and then just factorizing and getting that answer. Question number 5. The nth term of a sequence is given by Tn equals 3, bracket m minus 4, to the power n plus 1, where m is a real number and m is not equal to 4, because then it will become 0 inside the bracket. Show that the sequence is geometric. Okay, where will you find it in my textbooks? You will find it in chapter 2, sequences. And if you want to look for an example, I think it's more a AP, but the principle stays the same, then go to page 43 in the AS Mathematics y equals mx plus c textbook, and then look at example 2. Remember, for an AP, now that is for an AP, then you will say T2 minus T1 will be equal to T3 minus T2. And for a GP, you will say T2 divided by T1 will be equal to T3 divided by T2. Okay, so that's the principle that we're going to use. Now, first, I'm going to just work out my three terms. So the first term, I will substitute, in the place of n, I will substitute 1. So let's start. So I will say 3, m minus 4, and it will be 1 plus 1. And the second one, 3, m minus 4, and it will be now 2 plus 1. And the next one will be 3, m minus 4, and it will be 3 plus 1. Okay. So basically this will be 2, 3, and 4. So if I'm starting to say proof for a GP, so a GP, if I say T2 divide with T1, okay, it must be equal to T3 divided by T2. Just remember that this will be the value of D also, and this will be the value of R. Okay. So let's just substitute it there. I'm just going to do it there. So I'm going to say T2. Remember, this is now T1, that one. This one is T2, and that one is T3. So if I start with T2, it's going to be 3, m minus 4, 3 over 3, T1, m minus 4, 2. And that must be equal to 3, m minus 4, 4 over 3, T2 now, m minus 4, 3. Okay, and if I simplify this, I will see that the 3's will cancel. That's 3 minus 2, so that 3's cancel. But what will be is I will have m minus 4. I'm going to subtract. I'm just rather going to write it like this for you. So that bracket, so it's going to be m minus 4, because in the bracket, 3 minus 2 is 1, and that is equal to m minus 4 in this side also, and that is therefore GP. And don't forget that that value of m minus 4, it's also going to be your value of R. But let's go back and let's look at the examination report. Okay, so let's go there to the examination report. And I think maybe it's already on this one. It's 4, and let's go to the next one. There is 5. Okay. Most candidates failed to get the correct common ratio. A commonly seen wrong answer was that they keep the 3, but the 3's cancel out. Okay, it was only the m minus 4. Candidates were supposed to list at least 3 terms for them to realize that it's geometric. Others treated 3 as the first term by comparing the given expression to the formula. Okay, so just remember, let's go back. If I would go back to the question paper. Okay, just remember to prove for a GP that you can use this statement. And don't forget that that value is R now. Okay, now we continue. So if I'm saying determine the range of values of m for which the series, that's infinity, 3 converge. Okay, now please take note that we are still busy with the same. Did you see already? Let's rather mark that part. Can you see that part is exactly the same? So basically, you will find this convergence of series. You will find, and again, I'm going to tell you where in the textbook. Go there to page 67. But when will it converge? If it's a GP, and if R, okay, is bigger than -1 and smaller, oh, that is so far, smaller than 1. Then don't forget that the value of R is now that m minus 4. So in that value of R, I'm going to say m minus 4, and it's bigger than -1, and it's smaller than 1. And I'm going to just solve the inequality. It's a linear inequality. So if I want to solve, I prefer that you just work on the two sides and then work on that. Then it's easier. So m minus 4 is bigger than -1. And then break it up, we can put it together again at the end. So then I'm getting m is bigger, and that's 4 minus 3, and that's going to be 3. And then this one, it's 4 plus 1, and that is going to be 5. So therefore, I can say when m is bigger than 3, otherwise you can put an and there, but I prefer that you write it like that. When m is bigger than 3 and smaller than 5, not equal signs. Okay, so again, this one was 2, and I think they didn't show me how they gave that 2 marks. I think if you write the first 3 terms, and then if you just end up with m minus 4 being that common ratio. Okay, and then this one, let's just see how many marks. It was also 2 marks. I think they gave 1 mark for just coming to that, and then for the final. But let's go to the page. Let's go to the examination report. Okay, extremely poorly answered. Many candidates had no clue about the condition of converge for a geometric progression. A lot of them started over the listing of the first 3 terms, which was the answer required in 5A. The idea of R smaller was hardly seen. Okay, so there was your first step, being that to the negative and to its absolute values, and then simplifying that and coming to that answer. Okay, so let's just go back to the question paper. Okay, and then the next one, Okay. Okay. Let's just put this back. Okay, and this is the last one in question number 5. Sequences, not so difficult so far. And then the last one, maybe just that you have to go through the basics there. Okay, so find the values of m correct to 3 significant figures. I always, if the question is stating different, because I think it's going to quadratic, and quadratic is usually 2 decimal, but always underline it, that you don't forget it. So it's different from the instructions, if it's different, for which the sum to identity of the series is 1, which the sum to infinity, that's the word, sorry, I misread it, of the series is, and don't forget 1. It's sometimes if it's 1, you miss the 1. I don't know why. It's like it's part of a sentence. Okay. So let's just get this GP, and let's just get that we know the sum to infinity, and the sum to infinity, I'm just quickly going to tell you where to find that formula, but you can also, I think it will be good, and in this case, it's maybe good that I show you where it stands. Let's see if it stands on your formula sheet. I just want to see if I find it here. I'm just going to that page. Okay, so let's just make bigger. I never went to this, and I believe it stands here. Okay, sequences, binomial, geometrical. There is the sum to infinity. Do you see? So if you forgot it, you cannot recall it. There they gave you the value of r also. Then it's that a over 1 minus r. Now I just have to go back to all the pages. Okay. Okay, let's see where it is. There it is. Okay, and if you wanted to go to the textbook, then you could have also the sum to infinity. I'm just one sum to infinity. I'm looking 66. It looks there. I'm just going quickly to the textbook, seeing if I see it there, 66. Oh, and there is the sum to infinity. It is there on page 66. You can look for the formula. It's in my y equals mx plus c textbook. And then the sigma notation, you will see there on page 67. But we're not going to use that, 66. Okay. So let's start with the question. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify, because I know that the sum to infinity, I can just write it here, the formula as we saw now, a is 1 minus r. So I need the value of a, and I know the value of r. But let's go to the previous. So what is my value of a? Sorry, I want to get this one. So my value of a, that was my value of a. Are you with me? And then this was my value of r. I need that two informations. Okay, so I start with that. I say the value of a, I just want to use blue. The value of a is 3 m minus 4 to the power of 2. And the value of r is m minus 4. Okay, get that from the previous a question. Now I start the sum to infinity is equal to a over 1 minus r. And that is going to be 3. Now a, I put m minus 4 squared over, okay, 1 minus, and don't forget to put that in brackets now, m minus 4. And that is going to be equal to, I can simplify this now as, just leave this first, 3 m minus 4 squared, just simplify the bottom. So it's 1 minus m plus 4. So 4 plus 1, it's going to be 5 minus m. Okay. Now I'm telling you, so we can simplify it now further. I tell you that the sum of infinity is equal to 1. So I'm actually getting that 3 m minus 4 squared 5 minus m, and that is equal to 1 over 1. Okay, so now I cross multiply, and I get 5 minus m is equal to 3 m minus 4 squared. And I can simplify it now. So it's 5 minus m. Don't forget that this m, it's m minus 4 m if you want to do the long. Now I'm doing the short, so I say m times m is m squared, multiply with each other, so negative 4m times 2, so it's negative 8m plus 16. So it's 5 minus m is equal to 3m minus 24m, and 3 times 16 is 48. And now I'm going to take everything to one side. So it's quadratic. So it's going to be, oh, don't forget, maybe you pick it up. It was a square there. Okay, I was looking for the square. So then you will see that there. Okay, so it's 3m squared. So it's going to be minus 24m. Okay, I'm doing long. You can do it shorter. So minus 5 plus m. I'm taking everything to one side. So it's 3m squared, so it's negative 24 plus m, so it's negative 23m, and 48 minus 5 is 43. Okay. And now, because they said three significant figures, I know that this one cannot factorize. I look at the 23, the 43, I don't get the feeling. So I go directly for the formula. Now, you know the formula. It's minus b, and please memorize it. It comes from ordinary. So b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, and don't forget that this value is a, this value is b, this value is c. And I'm just filling it in. So it's, don't forget, negative 23 plus minus, then b squared, it's negative 23 squared minus 4a is 3, don't forget 3, b is 43, and then over 2a. And then I'm going to get 23 plus minus, and then I multiply 529 minus 516 over 6. And then if I simplify 23 plus minus, and then if I get the 13 there, over 6. And don't forget, if you press on your calculator, press 23 plus square root. I just want to do it quickly. I'm just looking for my calculator. I still believe that first the calculator, full the calculator is placed. So 23 plus square root 13 equals, divide 6 equals. So I'm getting the one value of x is 4.434258.546, and that is 4.43. Okay, and the other value of x, or, and now it's the 23 minus the square of 13 equals, otherwise you must put brackets, divide 6 equals, and I'm getting 3,232,408,121, and that is x equals 3,23. And that is my two answers. Let's go to the examination report. If I can recall correctly, they gave you a mark if you already substitute there. At least you came to this step there. And then if you put it equal to 1, that you come to that step. And then if you came to this quadratic equation, and then if you come to this, and then for the final correct two answers. Okay, because it's quite a lot of questions on marks. So let's just go, let's just find that. That's question 5C. Okay, here it is. Poorly answers. A lot of candidates substitute the common ratio from 5 in a wrong formula for the infinity, while others mistakenly use this as their common. Sorry, because then the mistake goes on. Most of them hardly manage to get a quadratic equation. So first you substitute, then you put it equal to 1, you get your other mark. You get that quadratic, you simplify, you get the quadratic equation, you put it in the formula, and you get your 2 answers. All these videos refer to the y equals mx plus c textbooks, the #1 mathematics textbook used in Namibian schools. For more information on these textbooks, visit the Straight Line Publishing website. All y equals mx plus c to success textbooks are available in the NEED catalogue of the Ministry of Education. Schools can order these using their yearly budget for textbooks, with the process typically starting mid-year. Make sure your learners have a copy of the y equals mx plus c mathematics textbook used by the top schools in Namibia in front of them in 2025. A final point. If you are in the position, I want to encourage you to buy your own personal copy of the y equals mx plus c mathematics textbook. These textbooks are available at the following bookshops. Remember, success in mathematics comes from hard work, perseverance, and the courage to face challenges head on. Good luck with your final 2024 examination.